Alfonso Ribeiro starts out this week. He explains why Carlton ruined his career. We're going to talk about that, and then Tyler Perry.
Run up to me saying, Carlton! And the name creates pain. Imagine you did something. People loved it. And they tell you that thing that you were so great at, you'll never be able to do it again. To act because you did that one so well that we can't see you as something else.
Damn. I mean, he could be but here's the thing, it wasn't even a space for him to be typecast, which is kind of sad. But I definitely understand his frustration and his pain, but I think we forget how iconic Alfonso Ribeiro is
in general.
In general. And he has done a lot of things outside of Fresh Prince. There's been a lot of hosting gigs, not acting. But when I think sometimes of Alfonso, I'm like, oh, he was such that cute kid in that Pepsi commercial with Michael Jackson.
Silver Spoons.
Yeah.
Silver Spoons. He was one of the first black kids I looked up to on TV. Like, no lie.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, like seriously, like you saw him in the Pepsi. And Silver Spoons, like one of the first shows, sitcoms I remember watching as a kid. And I was like, yo, that dude cool. He hanging out, and I know this is gonna sound messed up, y'all. He hanging out with the white boy that's got all the money to live next door with all the cool stuff.
Yeah, and people say those things all the time, like that happens, that people don't really give them opportunities to do anything else. So it's like always that weird.
But this is my question I always think, because I know Jaleel says the same thing when it comes to Urkel. JJ Walker's got that same thing with JJ from Good Times.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. It's other characters that, I mean, I kind of think that do you think the Olsen twins have it a little bit too?
I don't necessarily think so for them, because they were able to expand their brand into a different realm. So they were able to dabble. I think that, if anything, I think they had more to prove, especially dabbling in fashion. Like they went that route.
Yeah.
So, which didn't require them to act or anything, but still having to prove their value to this industry. And I mean, what they had clothing in Kmart and stuff, Target, that they didn't necessarily design, but to really dabble into that realm. I think it was just a lot more for them. And it wasn't even just like, oh, we selling like clothes at this price. It was like the luxury. Or we would say contemporary luxury, like the price point of their line. So,
but Harvey Finkel's got it too. With that played the Fonz. I know he talks about the same thing, that he is the same thing issue too.
And I don't think it's that people only see them as one thing. I think it sucks because they never got the opportunity to even try to do anything else.
My thing is, how many other people wish they even had that chance to even be an iconic person and have consistent money like that, period. That's the other side of it. Like, would you rather not had a career at all and just been this random dude?
I'd be interested to see what their contract regarding their residuals were, because Fresh Prince has always been on multiple network streaming.
I think they got pretty good. I've never heard none of them complain about
a lot of them. I was like, because I know sometimes they say the more networks the show is on, depending on how that contract is, that like it wasn't like you was getting all of this money. You was getting pennies on a dollar. So hopefully, like you said, he was still working. We really didn't see any of the cast or anything else except for Will, and you would get the occasional appearance.
Tatiana Lee had her show. She had that show. Who's That Girl?
I don't remember.
Like 3 seasons. It was on TV One. It was pretty good. She was like she played like a ad executive at her dad's new company or whatever. She moved back to LA, and she's working for her dad. Was actually the funny thing is her dad was the light-skinned dude. Remember the episode on Fresh Prince with the professor that he was trying to hook up with Hillary, and she kept on finding stuff that was ugly about him, and Will was trying to make her date him because he needed a good grade.
Oh yeah.
He plays her dad on Who's That Girl. So the song from Raphael Sadiq, that the Who's That Girl, the one where he's redoing 60 shit. That's the song. That song came about because that was the theme song for her TV show.
Okay.
So she had that. She had that, and then she had that.
But it wasn't like because it's like we didn't support her music career like we should have, because that song was cool. I like that.
No, the first 2 singles were straight.
I'm like, I enjoyed her vocally, but I'm not saying consistently. We're just starting to see Aunt Viv again, dark skinned Aunt Viv. The light skinned Joy M. Reid is married to Tim Reid.
Right, so she was been acting forever before that.
She was acting before that, and then they had their own production company, so they do a lot of producing. Because she also talks about on that reunion how she initially was offered that role and she turned it down.
The first time when when
they first did it, she turned it down because she didn't, she was like, "Who is this? I don't want to act with no rapper," because she you formally trained, so I get it. But I think it's really hard because it is like what you said. It is a lot of people would love that opportunity to have like this iconic role, but then also I see his perspective where it was like, I really thought this was going to jumpstart my career, and it stunted my growth, like as far as being taken seriously as an actor. So I see both sides of it, and it's hard because it seems like some people could probably take it as him not being grateful, when it's him just saying, I was grateful, but I also wanted to be able to bask more in this blessing. So I kind of see both sides of it. So it's kind of tough.
But I mean, he also came. Alfonso Ribeiro stayed in the news, and then someone tweeted him. Would you say that Tyler Perry could save his career?
Or could revamp his career.
Revamp his career. Yep.
And he said, "I don't want nothing." I don't want nothing from that man. And it was like, I don't want to be near that man. I don't want nothing to do with this man. He can't do nothing. He can't do nothing for me. I'm good. It is what that tweet said.
Now, this is something I'm looking at here just to make sure. But he directed 8 episodes of Meet the Browns. And
Alfonso?
Another one of shows.
Alfonso?
Yeah.
So that means how it came across.
No, it's because it's something that they got some beef internally. Has nothing
that's what I was like. It came
with him
across
being Tyler Perry.
It immediately, to me, when I read that, it came across like smoke. Like, he don't want this smoke. Like, I want to fight. Like, I got smoke for Tyler Perry. No.
He directed 8 episodes of Meet the Browns.
I'm telling you, when I first read that, I was like, at first it was funny, and I was like, what happened behind the scenes that made him respond like that to that tweet? It came across, it's you can feel the aggression in that tweet.
Yes. But I was wondering, I was like, man, it's gotta be something. And he had that work with him. He just wouldn't I just don't see him just jumping out the window, just saying whatever. Like that. Yeah, he episode those 12. Actually, I went to maybe it's 12 episodes of Meet the Browns.
Yeah,
so
it maybe a check didn't clear, maybe he was shortchanged on something.
Yeah, so it has nothing to so y'all people, getting into y'all panties in a bunch. It's not a shade thing, it's more of a thing of like they got some kind of issues amongst each other.
For
business or production stuff that has nothing to do with anything. So that
and sometimes and before people, I implore people to not, because I feel like people always want to jump to the one thing about Tyler Perry that people always say, which I'm not gonna say here, but sometimes people don't like how people run their business. Yeah, and though it's 12 episodes, something clearly happened after that, and maybe it was supposed to be something else. And that ended up like that deal fell apart. I could see that smoke that being warranted for that, but I don't think it's what other people think it is.
Yeah, and that's what you have to make sure you kind of let me pull that curtain back a little bit and see where we at here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. It's a lot of things that happen in Hollywood that people don't understand, because a lot of people just see the glitz and the glam, and they don't realize that Hollywood is a corporation. It's corporate. It's its own machine, just like all these other companies or whatever. And that's when we was talking about DEI, and a lot of companies or corporations doing away with that sector of their companies. Hollywood just did the same thing, and they're still doing the same thing, and
They are though.
yeah, they are. Nobody's talking about it. And I was like, somebody will talk about this in a documentary or a film one day, when there is that conversation surrounding what has happened, what happened with 2020 on top of the pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement, and what all these corporations and companies did. It's a hard time for people of color right now. Like a lot of these brands are not reaching out to, they wasn't paying them fair anyway,
From the
but are
beginning.
not reaching out to, like Black creators and all this stuff. And so, everybody's just trying to take what they can get, because things are starting to look different for a lot of these, brands. So it sucks. Like and then especially post writer strike, that was the writer strike to me was all a ploy, because the thing that a lot of people don't know is a lot of these studios were able to get out of a lot of deals because of the writer strike, where they didn't have to pay people.
People
On.
don't talk about it that enough.
Yeah, and so it had to go on, and we talked about it here, for a minimum of a certain amount of days, in order to dissolve those contracts where they don't get penalized, where they still don't have to pay out. So it's just really sad, and I know a lot of people feel discouraged. I have a lot of friends that are writers and stuff in Hollywood, and feeling very discouraged and pessimistic right now. And I just, like the great song says, I just say, be encouraged no matter what's going on, and it'll be all right. It'll be all right. And I think people have to, I think there'll be a surge in content that will ultimately go on platforms like YouTube. Potentially people pitching things to Tubi and other, and though Tubi is like a sector of Fox, but we see that it's a lot of Black people being able to get their products out there. So, just hold on, you can make it.
Yeah,
don't worry about a thing.
Yeah, don't worry. Look. Hold on, change is coming.
Yeah. And I think hopefully somebody sees that with Alfonso and allow them to maybe create something for him to where he can really, pop out there and try something different. I would love to see him in some stuff, especially now that he grown. Like they 50s, late 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
That would be really dope to see him kind of in a different role. And not to be funny, I'm surprised. I would love for him, because they had Ashley, Tatiana Ali hop in on the Bel-Air.
Yeah, because she played the teacher right at the school.
Yeah, and so I would like to see more blasts from the past on that show too. That would be a lot of fun.
But before we move on, I can't let Alfonso Ribeiro get out of here.
Hey, listen, don't f with me, because there's some hot white out here tonight. Hey, Alfonso, now I gotta say, listen, I have been known to f some white girls in my lifetime. Yeah! Go Alfonso, okay, now I have spent my life on some TMZ. Yes. And every time you see me in a club, guess who I walk out with? Who? A lovely blonde white chick. Yeah. Just like fucking OJ. Every motherfucking time. I think you full of shit, motherfucker. And I can take you better when I think I'm home or the moon. Come on now. I take a break. I break a laugh. Come on. Every time I wanna leave, every time I wanna think I'm in a house, I make a break a laugh. Come on.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
I just wanted to just keep everything level.
You
You know,
you gonna do that because he like, oh, we was showing his support, but you know what? I forgot he said this.
I just want to level set for everybody if we could, let it
I
all
can't
be out
do
there. All
He
right,
is a looking guy. I think he just probably didn't have no game. He probably had no game or name and never really.
I mean, you gotta think about it. He's been them child stars is hard and shit too, man. Like it's so many different levels to it. He been popping since he like 6, 7, 8 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not mad at you, Alfonso, for that, but it's just you didn't have to go out there on stage saying all of it.
He's and that's how. Yes, and while we all may not necessarily care about the performative thing that he just did because it's kind of coonish.
Yes,
he didn't bash Black women in the process. So that's what you like, boo.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, if you like what you see here on Everyone Needs an Aquarius, be sure to hit that button right there. It'll take you to more clips, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share our podcast. See you back next time.